The new world order, Bishop Grady laying over the fuck going on for this BFN report. Now, Trisha Newbold, who actually works in the White House Personnel Security Office, actually became a whistleblower yesterday and releasing this memo to the House Oversight and Reform Committee, you know, the committee of lawmakers that actually get to grill White House officials, making sure they on point, not violating any laws. They get to, you know, subpoena people and, you know, bring them in, have them swear under oath and talk their truth, right? Supposedly. Nevertheless, she, in this memo, she says that there were 25 security clearance denials that were overturned by senior Trump administration officials, despite there being, quote, serious disqualifying issues. These issues range from blackmail to foreign influence to straight up criminal conduct. Now, this is serious because, one, she was forced to overturn these things because she was facing retaliation from her boss, Carl Klein, with measures that even include 14-day suspensions. But considering that at the top of the year, it was already an issue with Jared Kushner and Ivanka Trump getting top-level security clearances, it's just more nefarious shit going on. Green War and graduation. The new world order, Bishop Grady laying over the fuck going on for this BFN report. Now, 2 bills actually dedicated to disaster relief were actually stalled in Congress yesterday. One of them having to do with, well, both of them basically deciding, like, you know, there's been a lot of natural disasters. Where's this money going to go? But the main point of contention has to do with Puerto Rico. Republicans wanted to give $600 million to Puerto Rico for food stamps. Now, that might sound like a lot to a lot of people, shit, hell, even to me, but at the end of the day, their food stamp program was already cut, you know what I mean, as far as funding. Their funding was already, like, cut short. And so this was kind of like only be making up for that. And the island is still recovering from a whole motherfucking hurricane. Hurricane Maria was nothing to play with. There were parts of the islands that were out of power for several months. You know, devastation, whatever. And Trump had already, you know, kind of came up short with money he was giving to him. Now Republicans want to give all of this relief funding to, like, the Midwest, and there was flooding and all of that. Yeah, everybody needs funding, but definitely Puerto Rico, they fucked up over there. Not to mention that Trump could actually dig into these funds under this national security emergency that we're in. Let's stay woke, man. Green War and graduate. New world order, Bishop Grady laying over the fuck going on for this BFN report. Now, over in Britain, actually, the Brexit vote has been like a main topic that I've been visiting slightly. Ain't really much to talk about. They keep voting down all of the options that they come up with, apparently. So yesterday, that's what happened. They have 4 options on the table for how they could exit the European Union. That's what Brexit is about. And they were all shot down. Now, Prime Minister Theresa May, she wants to, like, actually offer up another referendum, but her shits have been shut down 3 times already. Like, they not fucking with you, Theresa. It just is what it is. They not fucking with you. But it's hard to really understand who they really fucking with. Like, what do they want to do? This is all happening. They are 10 days away from when they're actually supposed to or scheduled to exit the European Union. So we'll see how this pans out, man. Green War graduation. The new world order, Bishop Grady laying over the fuck going on for this BFN report. Now, the Muslim majority nation of Brunei, which actually you can find on the outskirts of Asia, near Indonesia. It's on an island. But it's like part of an island, but it's its own nation. They are actually bringing back the death penalty for adultery and homosexuality. And the United Nations is basically, you know, recommending that they put an end to that. These laws are actually supposed to go into effect tomorrow as part of them trying to, you know, bring elements of Sharia law back into play. Even though there's been a moratorium of the death penalty since 1957. People are up in arms about it. The Sultan of Brunei, you know, one of the leaders over there or whatever, actually owns hotels over here, like Beverly Hills Hotel or Hotel Bel Air, for example. And you have actors in Hollywood that are like, including George Clooney, that are actually protesting that in order to make a statement about this. So that's what's happening. Green War and graduate. The new world order, Bishop Grady laying over the fuck going on for this BFN report. Now, the Supreme Court of the United States, aka SCOTUS, actually voted yesterday 5-4 against a Missouri man who's on death row. Now, this man was actually trying to get the lethal gas instead of the lethal injection because of a condition he has that would actually make the lethal injection cruel, you know what I mean, basically make him suffer before dying because he'd end up suffocating due to his condition. And you know, they overturned that. You know, one justice, I think Neil Gorsuch, actually said that even though the Constitution says that, you know, it's unconstitutional to have cruel and unusual punishment to inflict that on the people. He said, like, you know, they're not guaranteed a painless death, essentially. So, you know, I mean, I chuckle a little bit, but you know, the death penalty is a serious issue, especially considering the fact that as a nation, definitely don't always get it right. So we're killing innocent people. Let's keep it above. Green War and graduate. We will do the Bishop Grady laying over the fuck going on for this BFN report. Now, the Associated Press actually reported that Donald Trump may soon elect an immigration czar, C-Z-A-R. You know what I'm saying? Like an overall ruler with no like really official position other than to just delegate and direct. You know what I'm saying? And they want to name, apparently he's looking at Chris Kobach, who's actually the Secretary of State for Kansas. Now, the thing about this dude, he's actually considered to be a key architect of voter suppression efforts by the GOP nationwide. You know, GOP is another name for the Republicans, the Grand Old Party, for those who don't know. Nevertheless, and he's also considered to be like, you know, definitely anti-immigration and, you know, actually received money from white nationalists during his unsuccessful run for governor last year. So this is something to be on the watch out for, and just another extension of racism coming from the fucking Trump administration. Man, how about that? Green War and graduate. We'll do the Bishop Grady laying over the fuck going on for this BFN report. Let me tell y'all something. Back in 2000, the disease, measles, was actually declared eliminated. That's how few cases there were. Now, since then, there's been like one other outbreak, but then this year, there's been another outbreak. People are fearing the outbreak because there have been 387 confirmed cases of the measles in just the past 3 months from the top of this year, 2019, across 15 states. Now, in New York, whatever, a section in New York, there's actually an outbreak that took place in the Jewish community that scared a lot of people. And in general, lawmakers, and it was happening out in the Northwest. So lawmakers are considering like taking measures against people who are opting out of vaccination for their children due to religious beliefs or whatnot. My whole thing is, while that is a little scary and a little bothersome, there's still 300 and something million people in the country. The chances are still small, but you know, we'll see how this pans out. Green War and graduate. The new world order, Bishop Grady laying over the fuck going on for this BFN report. A second woman actually has come out talking about how Joe Biden, former vice president and possible presidential runner for the 2020 election, actually has acted inappropriate with her as well. Now, it wasn't a sexual misconduct, but it is a little creepy where this woman, Amy Lappos, who actually is reported this to the Hartford Courant, said that during the Democratic convention, he pulls her to his face and rubs noses with her. Don't know the bitch from Adam. And is like, you know, just getting real, like, extremely friendly with her. Now, the man has actually said that he, after the, I told y'all about what happened with Lucy Flores, Nevada congresswoman, who actually said that, he, you know, he smelled the hair and kissed on the back of the head and all of that, whatever, more creep shit. He said he never felt like he acted inappropriately with women during his years in public life. So, you know, it's kind of a weird accusation though. And you know, we'll see how this pans out, man. He's talking about bringing Stacey Abrams, pardon me, as his vice president. I don't know. We'll see. Green War and graduation. The new world order, Bishop Grady laying over the fuck going on for this BFN report. Now, I'm gonna report this just because I want to bring awareness to this shit. Now, Samantha Josephson was a 21-year-old white girl who actually went to the University of South Carolina, aspiring lawyer, and she actually hopped into Uber, or what she thought was an Uber ride on Thursday night, this past Thursday night, Friday morning, that area or whatever, and you know, was found dead actually, and the autopsy showed that she had, you know, sharp objects, like, you know what I mean, punctured into her or whatever. Now, the suspect of this car, who was driving this car, was some dude named Nathaniel, as a black dude or whatever, but he was arrested on Saturday. But I'm bringing awareness to this because it's like, you know, this Uber shit is real. You know, motherfuckers will pull up. You don't got no license. They don't gotta show you nothing, whatever. So you better make sure you're getting into the right Ubers. I'm not bringing this up because it's another white girl. Because let's keep it real. There are thousands of black women that are missing. Stay woke, man. Green War and graduation.